Today's Sunshine Note is titled, The King Who Was Scared Spitless. Suddenly the fingers of a human hand appeared and wrote on the plaster of the wall, near the lampstand in the royal palace. The king watched the hand as it wrote. His face turned pale and he was so frightened that his knees knocked together and his legs gave way. Daniel 5 verses 5 and 6. How often do you hear about a king in his own palace, in the midst of a gigantic banquet that he's thrown for all his governors and officials, getting so scared that he literally collapses? Probably not often, but that's exactly what happened to poor old Belshazzar in his story of the floating handwriting on the wall. The story itself is kind of miraculous all around. First off, the obvious event with the handwriting on the wall is miraculous and a little freaky all at the same time. The fact that Daniel can walk in and tell Belshazzar that the writing says that his kingdom is about to be divided up and that he has been weighed in the balances and found wanting is yet another amazing feat, though of course we expect it from a guy like Daniel. The other thing that is amazing here is that at the very time Daniel predicted Babylon's fall, the Medo-Persian army was already making their way through the water tunnels beneath the city wall. According to historians, the generals and the army came to the gate where the city's water supply ran beneath the city walls, only to find no guards and the gate standing wide open. They simply walked into the city without a fight and took it over completely. That very night, what the hand wrote on the wall came true. But beyond this, another prophecy made 150 years earlier was fulfilled as well. The book of Isaiah tells of a future King Cyrus who would conquer Babylon and return God's people to their homeland. It adds, "This is what the Lord says to his anointed, to Cyrus, whose right hand I take hold of to subdue nations before him and to strip kings of their armor, to open doors before him so that gates will not be shut." Isaiah 45:1. Two prophecies were fulfilled together that night. Belshazzar's final legacy in all this is that he thought he was bigger than God and could thumb his nose at the prophecies. But as Daniel told him that night, "You've been weighed and found wanting." If Daniel were to come to you today, would you be the man or woman God has called you to be? Or would you too be weighed and found wanting? May God bless you today.